successful in staving off Russian attacks, particularly in Kyiv over the last few months. This latest one, another example of that. What are you hearing from your sources within Ukraine and specifically in the capital city about their ability to hold off these and their defenses?
It wasn't just the exceptional amount, it was the amount of these both missile and drone attacks at the same time. So the shortest amount of time, they just volleyed as many attacks as possible. We've seen Russia up its attacks recently as President Zelenskyy is off in Europe, but also trying to determine where Ukraine's missile defense systems are located. So especially those Patriot defense batteries that were recently installed in Kyiv that are capable of shooting down the hypersonic missiles. That's what Russia would like to determine where they are placing them so they can take them out and therefore have more devastating power over Kyiv.
And what more do you know about where these missiles are coming from being fired by the Russian military?
Oh, they're still being fired from all directions. So for the most part, we will get alerts when we know that bombers are taking off from Russian territory. But there are still Russian missiles that can be fired from as far away as the Caspian Sea, where ships are equipped with them, as well as the Black Sea. So the further they are, the more warning there is for Ukrainians to know that rocket attacks are coming. It's simply the fact that Russia is combining them in different ways. So you'll have a certain amount of time when they're fired from a bomber, a certain amount of time when they're fired from a ground or sea-based location, and the worst part are the drones that still fly too low for most radar to detect them. So it's all about local defense batteries to take them out.
And is Ukraine seeing the same success in other cities outside of Kyiv to try to interject in defense of some of these drones and other missiles?
It depends what kind of armaments are being used against Ukraine. We just had some horrific attacks over the weekend. I'm thinking of Khmelnytsky. I'm thinking of Ternopil, areas that were attacked. Those areas where Russia uses its quote-unquote hypersonic missile, where you really want a Patriot defense battery. Unfortunately for Ukraine, unfortunately for people who do not like to see slaughter, it's this slowness of the West to arm Ukraine with these defensive weapons that allow for tragedies like that to happen. So we really need to get more than one or two Patriot batteries in the capital and deploy them throughout the rest of the country.
And one thing that's happening, Andrij, at the same time as this is Ukraine is preparing this counteroffensive. President Zelenskyy has made it a point to have some very recent and even surprise visits with some leaders across Europe, in France, in Germany. Why was it important that he portray his strategy that Ukraine will not attack what he called constitutionally defined Russian territory?
Well, of course. I mean, these visits are historic in nature. We always hail the visits of World War II or other conflicts of showing that leaders can go to those other countries and talk face to face, not be worried about their electronic conversations being monitored. But, you know, I'm going to go back to Ukraine in about a month's time, and I'm going to deal with the same issue that President Zelenskyy has, which is that it's going to take the better part of a day to travel from Kyiv just to his border. And then you can only get to a European airport to finally fly out. So these trips aren't without risk. They aren't easy. And just as many leaders have come to Kyiv to express solidarity with Ukraine, it's important for Ukraine's leader to come out and, you know, be invited to the Prime Minister of England's private residence as the first foreign leader to get that honor. It's important for him to thank Germany in person when they announced that $3 billion package of arms sales. And for all the talk of, I hear the same thing you are, Marni, about Ukraine's upcoming counteroffensive. The truth is that Ukraine is already on the move. Freedom is on the march in Ukraine. They've crossed the river in multiple portions, and Bakhmut is almost completely surrounded by Ukrainian forces again.
Personally and professionally, why is it important for you to visit Ukraine right now?
I can't step in there without visiting my friends, people who have children, people who have, wives, mothers, husbands, sons, who've been living there for over a year of this full-fledged aggression, 9 years with this full war. You don't want to, first of all, you want to have the lived experience. You want to feel that every time and remind yourself what it's like to have the power knocked out because of a rocket attack, or to hear your phone go off or the loud sirens in any city when a missile attack is happening. But the other thing is that Ukraine is on the march in this sense, and Ukraine very much wants the West to visit.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider, and don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.